And if I can ask you to turn your cameras off and your microphones as well. But if you want to come in and ask the question, of course you must do that. All right, so here's question 1 then. We're doing the GCSE Exam Pro word problems, but with calculator allowed. Of course, even with the calculator, you've got to show what your brain did. Don't just dump answers on me. So 62 counters in total. The first thing I did was to say A plus B plus C is 62. It's going to help me in a minute. The total number of counters in A and B is 34. So I write down A plus B equals 34. And straight away, I could see the difference is 28. And that's got to be due to the C. Then I wrote down 28 on my little box C slot there. And I got myself a mark. Then it says the total number of counters in box A and box B is 34. Oh, okay. So I know I'm going to use that in a minute. The difference between the number of counters in box A and box C is 9. Okay, so if I take my 28 box C counters and take away 9, that means there must be 19 counters in box A. Then I put down my 19. Then I went back to this statement here, my third thought. A and B comes to 34. If I now know I've got 19 counters in box A, if I take away that from 34, then in box B alone there must be 15. Again, they're supposed to show some working, so you really should do that rather than just dump 3 numbers down there. All right. Obviously you must have come to some conclusion. You might have scribbled answers on a bit of paper and workings. I get that, but in an exam I'm not sure if they'll give you 3 marks just for that. Ribbons. So each card has 42 centimetres of ribbon round it. She's got 1,000 centimetres of ribbon on a little roll. Work out the maximum number of cards I can make. Well, if you divide 1,000 by 42, you don't get 23. You get 23.8 and some more numbers. Therefore, the most you can make is 23. You can't bump it up to 24. There's not enough ribbon, which is what question B is about. So let's study this one carefully. So how much ribbon is left over? I know I've got to use 23 lots of 42, so I've got to work that out first and take it away from 1,000, and I will get left 34 centimetres. A lot of you got this wrong. Okay, got it wrong. I've got answers of 8 or something like that. I'm not sure we got 8 from, but there you go. That's why it's 34. Again, this is going to go on YouTube as a video. I decided to put 28 from that sign to Bristol and 94 from that sign looking up towards London. What's the difference between London and Bristol? Well, it's going to be those 28 miles starting there, going all the way across to 94 miles to London, altogether 122 miles. Now, many of you got this wrong because you didn't read the question carefully enough. How much further is it to London than to Bristol from the sign? You've got to show your working. It's 3 marks. And you must give your answer to the nearest 10. We're not looking at 90 take away 30. We're looking at 94 take away 28, which gives us a distance of 66 miles difference. And then you call it 70 when you round up to the nearest 10. So many of you got an answer of 60 for the wrong reasons. But the answer is actually 70. It's there, all right? But that's the reason why it works. Okay, again, you should be taking notes, or rather you should be scribbling on your bits of paper that you sent to me. Question 4, this is trial and improvement. John travels, I mean there's no technique to this other than you've got to try and see what happens. So John travels by train or bus, okay, so if his daily train fare is 22 quid, his daily bus fare is £14.50. Over 5 days he spends a total of this much money. How much of each fare did he pay? So I'm going to try something. I tried 2 lots of, I've got to get it up to £87.50, okay? So I thought let's try 2 lots of train, and that came to £44. Then I took the £44 away from the total and got £43.50. When you divide £43.50 by the price of the bus fare, I get exactly 3 bus journeys. So if you ended up with 2.3 train journeys and 3.8 bus journeys, clearly there's something wrong with the maths, all right? So I have shown I'm taking 2 trains and 3 buses. And many of you put your answer for train there, you put down 44, then you put down your number for bus here, your £43.50. It does say how many of each fare did he buy. He bought 2 train fares and 3 bus fares, all right? Quite a bit of work there for 3 marks, but yeah, that's why you didn't get all 3 marks. Many of you just wrote down. You need to mute your microphone now. Question 5. Question 5. This was really well done. It's a magic square, something like that. All adds up to 25. You all completely got this correct. Nothing to talk about there. This was very well done. Josh has these 6 coins. He buys a sandwich, $1.95. He gets 1 coin in change. How much does he now have? Well, there's not even space to work it out. He now has 20p and a 5p coin, or a 5p and a 20p, because that's what's left over. Okay, so that's very, very straightforward. Now, Sam, what happened to this one here? Did I miss it out? Yeah, I actually missed out on my original question, which is silly. Sam has an equal number of 5p and 10p coins. Altogether, she has 90p in total. Maybe I should do it now. How many 5p coins does she have? Equal number of 5p's and 10p's. Let me think about that. Maybe you can help me, just to go quickly on this. So I've got 5p and 10p. So I've got an equal number. If I go 10p, 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 and if I go 5p, it's a bit glitchy, it's on a video, 5p, 5p, 5p. What are we up to now? We're up to 40, 50, we're up to 60 pence. Let's add on another 10p coin and another 5p coin. We're up to 75 pence. Okay, let's add another 10p coin and another 5p coin. We're up to 90 pence. How many 5p coins does she have? Well, she's got 6 5p's. Is that okay? She's actually got 6 10p's as well. There you go. I've just done the question. I missed it out. I'm sorry. I'm just not very bright. So that's that. That's my sort of thinking live. Question 7. This was many of you found this very difficult. Because there's a lot of English to deal with. Let me talk you through it carefully. So Mr. Singh is going to pay his electricity bill. He's used 967 units. He pays 26 pence per unit for the first 135 units. So let's just get 1 mark, yeah? 26p. Obviously the bill's going to be in pounds. So let me call 26p 0.26. If I multiply by 135 units, he's going to pay £35.10 for these units alone. Okay, so this is part of his bill. Now you need to take away these 135 units from the total number of units used, because for the remainder of the units, he's going to pay at a cheaper rate, only 19.5 pence per unit. So what are the units that are left over? Well, it's 196 units. Take away these 135, leaves us 832 units. How much would he pay for those? 19.5 pence. That's what he's going to do. So that's me working out 19.5 pence times 832, £162.24 at the cheaper rate. Now work out the total amount of money he's got to pay. He's going to have to pay that amount plus that amount, comes to £197.34 exactly. He's going to pay with £200. Has he got enough? And the answer is yep or yes. You need to sort of comment on yes, he will have enough, or just yes will do. Remember, it's a maths test. We're not marking English. GCSE examiners are not marking the quality of your English. They're marking your maths. And if it asks you a question, is £200 enough to pay? And you've got to say yes with it, because there'll be 1 mark for getting this final answer correct and the word yes, because you need to answer the question. Right, question 8. I set up an equation to try and do this. Many of you just wrote down 8, 8, 18. Okay, right. 3 positive whole numbers add up to 34. One of the numbers is a multiple of 9. So here's my original thought. 2 of the numbers are the same. So I thought to my brain, 2 times a certain number plus 9, will that come to 34? No, it won't, because x won't be a whole number. So let me try a different multiple of 9. And the next multiple I stumbled across was 2 9s are 18. So if 2 lots of the number plus 18 come to 34, I've got a very simple 2-step equation to solve. And if you revise the equations, then you can do this. I then took away the 18, so 2 times the number is 16. So the number itself must be 16 divided by 2, which is 8. So one number is 8, the other number is 8 because 2 of the numbers are the same, and the leftover is 18. 8, 8 and 18 do come to 34. Done. Chocolate. There's a variety of answers for this. So this is what I wrote. 16 pieces. Jacob eats half the bar. So without any negotiation, Jake is going to eat 8 bits, and there'll be 8 bits left over. Now Ethan eats more than a quarter of a bar. Some of you got this bit wrong. A quarter of the bar is 4 bits of chocolate. So Ethan could eat 5. He can't eat 4 because it says Ethan eats more than a quarter of the bar. So Ethan could eat 5, which means Michael could eat the remaining 3. Or Ethan could eat 6, because that's more than a quarter of the bar. So Michael will get to eat 2. I think that Ethan could even eat 7 bits, and Michael just gets the 1 remaining piece. So I gave 3 answers, but yeah, they're all there. So Jake could be 8, 5, 3 and stop. Some of you went for 8, 6, 1. I don't think anyone went for 8, 7, 1. But even though it's 3 marks, don't give 3 different versions. I gave 3 different versions just because I know I'll be teaching and going over it. But in an exam, just give 1 version, just in case your second version is wrong and you'll throw away at least some of your marks for giving 2 opposing answers. So just give a main answer and move on. Next. This was badly read by too many of you. I've got 120 men, 80 women, and do you drive to work? Well, I know I've got 200 people in total. A quarter of the people, that means men plus women, said yes. So a quarter of the 200 people is 50 people is a yes. A third of the men said yes. A third of how many? A third of 120. So 40 of these men said, yes, I drive to work. So that means of the remaining 10 people, these must be the women who drive to work. Yeah, total number of yeses is 50. The yeses for men is 40. So the yeses for women must be 10. Now let's read the English. What fraction of the women? Not what fraction of all the people. Now the women is just 80 women. So it should go 10 over 80 and doesn't ask you to simplify. So 10 out of 80 women says they drive to work. Question 10. Another beautiful question with electricity. I don't know, nice money problems, easy to do with calculator. Again, it's going to be an electricity bill. It's likely to be in pounds. You know that because there's a pound sign right there. So the first thing to do, you better change this 8p into 0.08 pounds. So the first 2700 kilowatt hours cost 8p a pop. So here's my first step. 0.08 times 2,700, 216 pounds. Lay that to one side. All extra kilowatt hours above that amount will only cost 5p. So if he's using this much, this family's using this much, you better take away the 2700 from 5,850 kilowatt hours of gas. So here's me doing a subtraction, and this is what's left over. What will they charge those units at? They will charge those units at just 5p. So 0.05 pounds times 3,150 comes to £157.50. So what is the total gas bill? It's this amount plus this amount. That's me showing the step, and there's the final answer. £373.50. Now, the profit made by the company is 7%, because this is the bill times 0.07, and many of you didn't see that as 7%. It's 0.07 means 7 out of 100, doesn't it? Yes, which means it's 7%. 1 mark. Question 12 is really tricky. I found it tricky. Well, not the first bit. Anyway, the distance of A to C. Well, from A to D is not given to us. Yes, it is. It's 35 miles. And from C to D is 12. They want to know, as a starter question, how far is that little bit there? Well, take it away and get 23. Now, again, part B I found really tricky. I got it right, but I didn't like it. Amy drives from A to D and then back to A. So Amy's going to go A to D and then come back. Is that all right? So that's quite a journey, isn't it? And she's going to do this 5 days. Over 5 days, she will drive 80 miles more than Bill. Work out the distance from B to D. So who's this driving now? Okay, Amy drives A to D and then back. Bilal drives from B to D, then back to B. Obviously, he lives nearer to D than Amy does. And B for Bilal, A for Amy, I guess. So she's now going to drive there and back. Back means times it by 2. So what's Amy going to do? Amy's going to go 35 miles. She's going to go all of it and back. And she's going to do this for 5 days twice. There, once in the day, and back the same, after work, say. That she's going to do 350 miles. Now, what about Bilal? Bilal's going to do 80 miles less than Amy, because Amy's doing 5 miles more than Bilal. So Bilal's going to do 270 miles for that week, a 5-day week, there and back, there and back, there and back, etc. So, okay, what's the difference between B and D? We now need to divide the 270 miles by 10. Now let me see why it's 10. Yeah, because it's 10, that 270 miles represents 10 little journeys, the journey there and the journey back. We're doing that 5 times, which is why I wrote the 10 there. So 270 miles divided by 10, Bilal travels 27 miles, one journey from B to D or D to B. 27, that's quite tricky. I found that tricky. Tickets. 1 adult, 1 junior ticket. That's easy, £8.40. It's right there. So, Jose, whatever, buys some over 65 tickets. These are just 65, over 65, so he's paying that price for it. How many does he buy? We can do a division sum. You get exactly 4 over 65 tickets. And now we're going to get some football tickets. They're here again. What's the situation? So Ella, if you're hearing me, right, the reason I said R, I thought, oh, where's C gone? I thought it'd be down there somewhere. Then I kept scrolling down to the bottom and I found where you did it. So well done. It was me, I just didn't see it. So Kim's going to buy 3 tickets and it all comes to £89.90. What types of tickets does she buy? Well, there's a combination of 3. You've got to play with these numbers by trial and improvement. There's no direct way of doing it in one go, but we know we should be aiming for £89.90. So I thought to myself, let's try 2 junior tickets and see what happens. So it's 2 lots of 43. No, 2 lots of £21.50, which is 43 quid. Then I thought this senior ticket looks like it's going to go towards the £89 mark. So I tried it. And 1 senior ticket is £46.90. If you add up those 2 numbers, you will in fact get what Kim paid for. It's £89.90. So she must have bought 2 juniors and 1 senior ticket. Any more? There's the mark scheme. It's all there. But of course I didn't give you that because that's naughty. So